Dr. Zoe Chance had earned a doctorate from Harvard and taught at the Yale School of Management when she made a shocking revelation to the crowd TEDx audience. I am coming clean today, telling the story for the very first time in its raw, ugly detail, she said. In March of 2012, I purchased a device that would slowly begin to ruin my life. At Yale, Chance taught future executives the secret of changing consumer behavior, despite the class title, Mastering Influence and Persuasion. Chan's confession revealed that she herself was not immune to manipulation. What began as a research project turned into a mindless compulsion. Chan stumbled upon a project that typified many of the persuasions technique she taught in her class. She tells me, we kept saying, oh, this is brilliant, these guys are geniuses. They've actually used every motivational tool we could possibly think of. Naturally, Chance had to try it out for herself and signed up to be the first guinea pig in her research experiment. Little did she know how the product would manipulate her mind and body. I really, truly couldn't stop. And it took me a long time to realize it was a problem, she says now. It's easy to understand why Chance stayed in a denial for so long. The product she became dependent on was not a prescription pill or a street dog. It was a pedometer. More specifically, it was a Streve Smart pedometer made by a Silicon Valley startup founded 1 year earlier. Chance is quick to mention that the Steve is no ordinary pedometer. They marked it as personal trainer in your pocket. She says, no, it is Saturn in your pocket. As a company founded by former video game designers, Streve utilizes behavioral design tactics to compel customers to be more physically active. Users of the pedometer are tasked with challenges as they accrue points for walking. They can compete with other players and view their relative rankings on the tournament style leaderboard. The company also couples the step counter with a smartphone app called MyLand, where players can exchange points to build virtual world online. Clearly, these tricks had cast their spell on Chance. In fact, she found herself incessantly pacing to keep accumulating steps and points. I would come home, and while I was eating, or while I was reading, or while I was eating and reading at the same time, or while my husband was trying to talk to me, I would be going to the circuit between the living room and the kitchen and the dining room and the living room and the kitchen and the dining room. Unfortunately, all that walking, much of it in circles, started taking its toll. She had less time for her family and friends. The only person I was getting closer to, she admits, was my colleague Ernst, who also had a streak so we could set challenges and compete with each other.